Hi, Facebook. I'm eating my lunch. It's a giant loaded salad. It's 10 day 10 of isolation. I should start doing daily isolation vlogs. Day 10, day 11. Hi. Not really. Oh gosh. If you didn't see my transformation picture from earlier today, go back and look. But I posted my original before picture and I posted my current picture. So it's a before and after, but I'm not done. And so far I'm down 180 pounds. I'm going to get down to the 130s. So I got a whiles to go. But one of my very good friends had messaged me and we were just talking about like, well, what did it feel like when that before picture was taken? And if you haven't yet seen that before picture,
that's me.
it's bad. One, it's bad quality, and the reason that it's the one I always use is because it's the only one I have. When I was over 420 pounds, I didn't get pictures taken. I didn't want pictures taken. I didn't look in the mirror. I didn't own mirrors. So I have exactly 3 pictures of me, only one full body picture, where I'm over 420 pounds. So yes, I keep reusing it because that's the only one I have. And I think that's pretty telling as to how I felt at 420 plus pounds. Now, I don't actually know what my heaviest weight was. I had started to try and lose weight on my own, and when I finally found a scale that could weigh me, I was 422 pounds. I don't know if I lost weight, and if so, how much prior to that. So I stick to the 422. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I might have to put a trigger warning for some people. If words like fat and obese and self-derogatory words offend you, I'm going to be very open, honest, and vulnerable about how I felt. So there's a trigger warning. During that time when I did weigh over 420 pounds, it didn't occur to me how heavy I was. One, I didn't know how heavy I was because I didn't have a scale that could go up that high. And I wasn't routinely going to the doctor because I knew that I was fat and I didn't want someone to tell me that I was fat. I was so insecure in myself that I knew if I went to a doctor, they were going to bring up nutrition, they were going to bring up diet and exercise. And I was so sensitive that I would let my own health be harmed in order to not talk about my health. That's sad. In fact, I had cavities and I wouldn't even go to the dentist. I just ignored the cavities because I knew the dentist would probably have to weigh me, or I assumed the dentist was going to have to weigh me. I just assumed that, and I let the cavities get so bad that I had to undergo extreme oral surgery that I actually had more tooth than cavity. I was that self-conscious and that afraid of addressing my actual health just because I had zero self-esteem and self-confidence. I hated who I was. And, that's a truth that a lot of morbidly obese people face. And that's why it's very hard to figure out terminology. Like, some people hate the term morbidly obese. Some people hate the term fat. Some people hate when we say that overweight is unhealthy. And even though all of these may be accurate, all of these may be medically correct, all of these may be insensitive, everyone's different. And if we're going to try and serve people and help everyone move forward in their journeys, we have to cater our terminology to each individual. And the public at large can't do that because it's going to be different for everybody. For me, I prefer the term fat. I prefer the term fat over morbidly obese. I don't know why, I just do. A lot of times I'll say I'm still fat or I was fat, and people say don't use that term. But when I was over 420 pounds and I came to accept that I was fat, that's when I was finally empowered enough on my own to take action steps. And those action steps were very, very small, but that snowballed into what is now a 180-pound weight loss. And for some people, it's going to be something different. So what worked for me does not work for everybody. But I did feel fat. I felt like a monster. When I look back at that before picture, I can't fathom how I functioned. I remember, like, I'm sitting in a chair now that has arms, and I remember I couldn't sit in a chair that had arms. And, if I could find one that would fit into it, would literally, my stomach was so large on my sides, it would lift my stomach up, and my stomach would sit on the arms. So we would avoid chairs with arms. Clothing shopping was a nightmare because, there's the regular sizes, then there's the plus sizes. And when we are that overweight, the plus sizes don't fit. When you can't fit into a 3X, you can't go clothes shopping at Walmart. I'm not even talking somewhere fancy, I'm talking Walmart. And there was a point in my life where I couldn't shop at Walmart. And then I was in denial. I would force myself into a 3X because I didn't want to be the 4 or the 5X. And probably looked a lot worse doing that. But again, I didn't own any mirrors. I didn't get my picture taken. I avoided anything where I could see myself. And there's times still today where I look in the mirror, especially like my face, the first thing up right here, for whatever reason, is the first thing that bloats. Like, I'll feel it here. And I'll look and I go, wow, I look really fat today. And then I'll go and I'll look at one of those 3 before pictures that I have. And I go, no, I don't. I mean, I still do, but in comparison, it's interesting, like 180 pounds of fat. We're not talking like I'm now, 90 pounds. I'm still in the 200s. I'm in the 240s now. But 180 pounds of fat, that's a person. And for my height, that's an overweight person. Gone. That actually might be in the category of obesity. I'm not sure. And when this is all said and done, my goal is to lose 300 pounds of fat. That's 2 whole people. I'm very soon going to be at the point where I will have lost more weight than I currently weigh, which is just mind-blowing to me. And to think about all of that, just almost pure body fat, just on my body. And the before and after picture I posted this morning, you can clearly see it. Like, it's all in my stomach, a little bit in my face, but you can just see it. I went from, where's the screen? I went from this to this. And I'm supposed to be this, but I went from this to this. It's mind-blowing. And getting back to like how did I feel as opposed to how do I feel now looking back, was that really me? Yes, I know it was me. I remember the event that before picture was taken at. That was taken at one of my absolute best friends' mother-in-law's wedding. Shout out Kathy, just for your wedding. And I remember like getting the picture taken. I'm going like, oh, I don't know how to smile. I'm like, I don't like my smile because I have an open gap, so like, I hate that. My teeth are completely closed, so I would never smile because I hate that. I've come to accept my open gap. It's not my favorite, but that's okay. I can change my weight. The open gap's harder to change. I remember when she took that picture and I'm just like, oh my gosh, no. There's a couple other pictures where I'm not 422, but I'm still, embarrassed of how I look. Extremely embarrassed of how I look. And it's just going from that to here. It's not an instant thing. It wasn't instant. It wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm starting to look good. It was, well, I don't feel like a monster. I still feel like a blob. I don't feel like a blob, but I still feel like I'm obese. I don't feel like I'm obese, but I'm still fat, and I am still obese, by the way. It's a very, excuse me, a very slow transition. Excuse me. I did not go into Dunkin'. I went through the my husband went through the drive-thru. Social distancing. It's just, I did, it's a sad thing to say that sometimes I feel like a blob. And I will say this, to anyone who's in that position, it's okay to feel that way. All of our emotions are valid. We can be angry at ourselves, we can be depressed, we can be sad, and we don't have to not feel it. It's okay to feel it. We should work on feeling better about ourselves, but we can't fake and say, well, no, I don't feel this way, because you're not going to serve yourself. You're not. If we acknowledge where we're at in life, then we can acknowledge where we want to go and how to get there. If we just keep ignoring where we're at, we're never going to get where we want to go. So, just really quickly, brief recap. How did I feel being over 422 pounds? To be perfectly honest, I felt like a monstrous blob. I didn't feel human. And now, how do I feel in the 240s? I still feel fat. I can sit there and look in the mirror and go, oh, I'm sorry, I know we're not supposed to touch your face, but I'm itchy. I can sit there and look in the mirror and go, wow, I still have so much weight to lose. But I look at that before picture and I go, holy cow, look how far I've come. And that feeling is the feeling I want to gift others through the program that I coach. Because I remember how I felt. I remember being embarrassed. When I was like a late teenager, I would refuse to go to restaurants with my parents because I was so embarrassed. Like, I didn't want people to go, ha ha ha, there's a fat person eating. Because I guess, fat people shouldn't eat at all. I would sit in the car while they would go to a sit down restaurant because I was so embarrassed to be that morbidly obese and eating. I was so afraid that I wasn't going to fit into the booth. I was afraid of judgment, but the vast majority was my own self projection. I was embarrassed because I knew I was unhealthy and I didn't want to acknowledge that. And one of the best parts about my health program is knowing that we can move forward and knowing how to better ourselves and having the support system because no one can do it alone. And if it weren't for my amazing support system, I would probably still be in the upper threes, if not in the 400s. And mentally, who knows where I'd be. So, thank you, Kate, for being my health coach. I love you. I hope all y'all are having a very healthy day, a self-isolation day. I hope this all blows over soon. And if you're watching this much later and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's during the corona pandemic of doom. I'm gonna finish my salad. Have a great day, everybody.